Another daily thought from Day. So, I've been watching this episode from The Diaries of a CEO, if you ever heard of it, and it's about UFOs and things like that. Here's my belief. It's not that it's not a thought that we can't handle the truth. I believe it's a power struggle, power of knowledge. Knowledge is power, right? And that's why government and the presidents are always saying we cannot confirm or deny, right? The existence of extraterrestrial life, aliens, whatever you want to call it. So there's that part. I also believe it would destroy the church. So it would be completely demolished, the whole ideology of God. And here's why. If these aliens, if this extraterrestrial life, this life beyond Earth is real, wouldn't you think that the church would want to, like, hey, God's real here, look at he's right here, you know? God is a universal belief. So it's all over the world, no matter where you're at in the world, somebody and everybody believes in a form of God. So why would we not want to admit that or have, like, hey, here's God, So let's just, from another angle, let's believe that the church knows and communicates with these beings that are outside, right? They know. And again, for the sake of knowledge and power, think about the church not being taxed, right? Why isn't the church being taxed on a larger scale? When somebody knows something and you have, oh God, I hate my dog, and you want to be paid for keeping quiet, right? So I might be saying this wrong, but you get the gist. In order to stay quiet about the lack of God, that there is no existence of a God, it's just other forms of life, they're being paid to keep quiet, right? Either it's the church that's like, well, the church and the government, or whatever you want to call it, knows there is no God. But the church doesn't want to admit it, again, because they make money, right? They're billionaires, trillionaires. They have money. They are being paid for their silence, for knowledge of power, power of knowledge. Okay? So that's another angle. And I know that, like, some people would be like, oh no, he's like it, the proof of God, right? It would just prove that there's a God. If they knew about it, right, the church knows about this, because we're going to assume it does, right? I'm going to assume they know. Because, like I said, it's a universal belief. There is a belief in a God. Different forms, everybody has their own form of God, whatever. But a God. So it just doesn't make sense to me that it's like we can't handle the truth. It makes no sense to me. And there may or may not be other things that were crossing my mind, but that's just what I want to get through for now. And know that I hate my dog. She doesn't make noise all day, but when I'm talking, all of a sudden, she wants to have conversations, loud, stupid conversations. She's 11 years old. She makes all this noise and then starts coughing and heaving because she's making all this noise. Granted, she's a forever puppy. She has brain damage, like legit. She was thrown as a puppy, vomited, the whole thing. So she's an idiot. But, yeah. So, there's that. That's my whole... That's my reality, that God isn't real, and the church doesn't want to end because they're making money and they're being paid to keep quiet because of government, for whatever reason, however you want to look at it. The church is going to stay quiet for the government. The government's going to stay quiet for the church. They're in cahoots. I mean, if you don't believe that, then something's wrong with you, and you're You're not looking at it from the outside. You're so deep in it that you're blind. You're just, yeah. So anyways, I don't really care what you believe. I'm going to continue believing what I believe because I'm a realist for the most part, you know, like, anyways, bye.